is one harder than the other, or are they just different?
Well, I think radio's a joy because when you think about it, I think about TV commentary as like building a cake. So the first thing you do, you've got the football field on a camera. That is it. The second layer are all those other cameras, close-ups, head-ons. There's your 7 or 8 cameras. That's the next layer. Then your next layer, sound effects, umpire, players yelling at each other, crowd, etc. Then your next layer is your special comments, telling people at home what's going on. So the last layer is our job, the play-by-play, to just fill in the gaps, describe what's going on, and guide the narrative. And there's your layers. So TV has different areas of there's sort of different levels of hierarchy in a way that when you're doing a TV game. Whereas radio, you've got a clean slate. There's no pictures. You're it.
It's just your ears.
It's just your
audience's ears.
Yeah.
Listener.
So that's the fun of it, is that you can come on, bounce of the ball, and away you go. And, all you're really governed by, I work for SEN, so there's obviously some advertisements that we have to do. But apart from that, there are no rules. You got 3 or 4 guys in the box broadcasting a game of football. And I love that rawness part of it. You can be a bit looser. There's no producer saying, don't say that or say this. And it's fantastic. So the radio side of it is really good fun. And you also have to be more descriptive. And it's a great lesson for callers, because how many times do you say the ball's gone inside 50? But you then have to come up with 25 different ways to say that, because you can't keep saying that all over and over again.
Yes.
So it's a great thing for your vocabulary as a commentator as well.
And which 50 as well. And actually, so, I remember being young, struggling to know where the ball was, because I just, and so the radio commentary is so important for that, because you're like, it's in the forward, it could be on the forward pocket or the wing.
Correct.
It's like, it's your job to sort of explain that to me.
And I'll say something like, the ball is out of play 8 metres around from the left goal post. Something like you can be really, really detailed, which you would never say that on Fox Footy, You'd never. But you could even just things like, there's a supporter in front of us, and she's leaving, she's gone for the car keys, and also you wouldn't say that on television. No. But the things you can say on radio that you're observing, even about the weather or just anything, it is really, really good fun. And you feel connected to the audience straight away because they're hanging off what you're saying. But there's one rule with radio calling, and it's not done enough. Even as a listener, you can't give the score enough. How many times do you turn the radio on and you've heard 5 minutes of play and you still don't know what the score is? It feels like as a commentator you're saying it too much, but you can never say it enough.
It's really interesting, mate, because some of this stuff you're saying might be obvious to you, but if you think about it as a listener or a viewer or an audience, it's like, they would be different. For instance, I think about it all the time because I'm working across both, but like you watching TV, like you don't need to know where the ball is because you just see where the ball is. So you as a caller, it's so fundamentally different.
Sure.
Right? Like I'm telling you, something you already know, but people who are listening or watching this, it's like, I don't think people kind of understand that. I just think, Matt Hill's commentates AFL. Good on him. But it's literally a completely different job.
Oh, for sure. And you can, as a TV caller, say, Schofield, Hill, Jones, Higgins, goal, because you literally, that's what your job's to point out who's got the ball.
Yes.
But they can see what they're doing with it.
Yeah.
And I think, and it's probably a part that I try and work on is the words. It's using words correctly. And sometimes you nail it, sometimes you don't. And that's, again, comes back to the fact that it's a live thing. We don't get a second crack. And that's, I think, the attraction to it. I think that's really the attraction to it, that you walk out at the end of the day amongst a group of 4 or 5 of your colleagues thinking, well, we had 3 hours to bring that to life and to do it justice and to add something. And it's rewarding when you think you've done a good job.
When you have 2 callers, 2 play-by-play, how do you know when each one should stop talking and when the next one? Because I remember watching it in a commentary box when I was at the ABC, and I was like, oh, that's how they do it. But I don't know if every duo is the same.
Do you know what? It's amazing how many times you get asked that question. And it seems so easy to us. It's just you're literally tapping in each other.
Yeah.
So you know as a caller when you've had enough, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You've done your little passage of play, and it's usually when the ball goes dead. And when the ball goes out of play or there's a stoppage, then it's time to give the hot hand pass over, and you literally just tap them in.
Yeah.
But it does get to a stage, it's like a relationship, you can end each other's sentences after a while. So, by the time you've done 10 games with someone, they know when you've had enough and they take over. And occasionally you might step over someone. But, overall, it's more working with the special comments guys because they're always got something to add and there's a bit of charades going on. Kingy will put his hand up. Jack goes like that as if to say, I just need to say something briefly.
Yeah, right.
And there's all a little bit of that going on.
That was just a little teaser of our full episode. They're out Wednesdays on YouTube, and you can listen to them wherever you get your podcast. Go on, get out of here.